The sword can attack and the sword can defend. We're watching the rapid domination of crypto, not just the physical infrastructures, the non-physical infrastructures, the minds of the people. They're dominating on all dynamics because in order to position crypto where it needs to be, which, let's keep it real, the big companies are the ones who want to make the bulk of the money. There's only a few of us left in what are the legit coins. Most of the other people have been pushed into the meme coins. Psychological conditioning is what we've been watching for 3 years now through the mainstream media, through the verbiage coming out of the big companies. I'll give you an example because they're setting crypto up for themselves to have the biggest explosion of all time. Nothing moves fast like crypto. Nothing makes big money in a small amount of time like crypto does. It's just no way around it. They know that. They desire to use it as a tool for themselves for a long time. This is where you get the verbiage. It's not just XRP with this verbiage. It's not just Quant, XLM, the bank coins with this verbiage. No, this is where you get the verbiage of the new 1% and ideas like that. Some people like to write that off, but there's something serious behind that. Very serious. Because there's only a few of us left in the legit coins. The big companies are stepping in. They're taking the place of the people because they know trillions are coming. They keep saying it. You know why they keep saying it? They're not out here telling you trillions are coming. The legit companies, you've seen the articles, okay? They're not out here telling you trillions are coming because it's fun for them to say that because they want to help you. They don't want to help you at all. So then why would they do such a thing? They're doing it to test the psychological conditioning that they have instituted over the last 3 years to control the people and keep the people out of the legit projects that later in the long run, in the long game, the chess game, the ones that are on the chessboard, the ones that can make life-changing wealth. I said can, I didn't say will. I'm not in control of these things. There's no guarantees. But I promise you, they're thinking in the same way that most of the top researchers are thinking. They see the possibility. They're leaning it in their favor. They're rigging it all. It's not just the possibility. See, we go off the possibility. We look at the research. We know the propensity that these things have towards exploding. We know that. But see, the difference between us and them is they know it and they have massive amounts of value and power to lean things in their favor, which leans things in that direction. They're testing the psychological conditioning. Because you see, for a long time, they use things like Bitcoin. And people use Bitcoin as an overarching term for all of crypto. You know this. When people hear Bitcoin on the news, they think of all of crypto, not just Bitcoin. They condition the minds of the people to be against crypto, to not like it, to think crypto is bad, even though all the banks recently had to come out and begin telling the truth. Not all of them, many of them. You know how I speak. We even had Singapore come out the other day and admit, hey, listen, a lot of illicit activity happens in the banks. The banks, Singapore admitted that the banks are the biggest threat when it comes to illicit activities. We read the article. Then you had two huge banks get in trouble with the regulators. For what reason? For illicit activities happening within their banks. They had to pay huge fines. I think one of them had to pay $500 million. We covered that article, right? But that doesn't matter because conditioning told the people of the world and many people within the United States, no, crypto is bad. Crypto was the bad one. That conditioning is so strong that it has stuck to this day and they must test it. So they come out every once in a while and they say, Bitcoin's going to $1 million. And they look around and they try to see if any activity, is it pumping? And are the people, did the conditioning stick? Are they staying out of Bitcoin even though we're telling them some bullish news? It could be the wildest price prediction. It could say Bitcoin is going to be $800,000, $500,000. And while maybe that's possible, to each his own. That's not why they're saying it. To help people out, they're saying it to test that conditioning. Even with those wild predictions, the people still won't FOMO into Bitcoin. Bitcoin price was going up. It wasn't like the people went absolutely nuts and FOMO'd in until it just pushed the price to astronomical levels. No, it was good for what it did. But that was just a beginning, but it didn't go crazy like it should have, considering the verbiage, which means what? The conditioning has stuck. How do I know the conditioning has stuck? Because the people wouldn't get into something legit like Bitcoin, even though all of these so-called big wigs were pumping it in the media. Oh, Bitcoin's going to 500,000, 200,000, 800,000. Even some reputable sources even saying 1 million. You got Bernstein saying 1 million. The people didn't FOMO into that, but you know what the people did do simultaneously? The people did get into meme coins. The people have been, aside from meme coins, you have like the gambling that's huge online now. They're gambling everywhere. But they won't get into Bitcoin. That tells me the psychological manacles that were placed on the people's minds have stuck. They've been testing it. Why? Why is that important to know? Because I believe, it's just my belief, you don't have to agree with any of this video, but it's my belief that they want those people to stay on the side. So that when Bitcoin explodes, when XRP explodes, when crypto explodes, and once again, if I didn't say this before, because I've shot this video about 3 times now, just trying to get it right. That's how I do. This is take 3. So I'm not sure what I said in which video, but when all of the top crypto, I believe, are going to explode in a way people will not believe, and it will seem to catch them off guard. But for those who are in the know, it's not going to catch us off guard. We saw it coming. We don't know when. We just know that the setup is there. We don't know how long it's going to last. I don't believe it's going to last long, but I believe it's there. Not financial advice, but the top cryptos, I believe, at some point are going to have their moment, go boom. XRP's in there. A lot of the bank coins are in there. Solana's in there, etc. They've been crashing the price lately. You've seen that, right? That's all by design. This time is different than other times because the catalysts are different. The information that came out is different. Everything was going well. Then we had a number of big wig people, including Kathy Wood, come out and let people know, hey, listen, there's big companies that want to get in. Then all of a sudden the price just goes down, just stays stagnant and continues to go down. They're making way for them to get in. This happened before. The pattern is there. In my humble opinion, like I said, you could disagree. I respect you people out there. So if you disagree, I don't have a problem with that at all. I can respect your opinion and your thoughts. They're making way for those other big companies to get in position. And that includes many different dynamics. It's not just acquiring something, but some of them didn't even do their research. They got to research on it. Why do they have to research on it? It's not that they don't know what Bitcoin is or XRP is. No, they know what these things are. But they have to research it to understand the opportunities that are there, because there are multi-pronged opportunities. Sorry, I'm a little excited. So if I'm talking a little forcefully, that's why. My apologies. When I get excited, I talk a little bit like that, right? I don't want someone to feel like, man, you're talking real forceful to us today. My apologies. It's just the way that I'm sounding because I'm a little excited. So now, there's multi-pronged opportunities that come with these coins. They look at it like that. They don't look at it as just, I'm going to buy it and sell it, and it's just that simple. No, I know a lot of people do. They don't look at it like that. They're looking at it like, okay, what services can we offer? One, what mechanisms can we institute? Can we do delegation? Can we do staking? We had an article recently on staking that was eye-opening. I don't remember if it was in the members-only section video or the regular subscriber video. It was eye-opening. It confirmed what I was saying. It confirmed it, folks. The big banks are looking at staking. The big companies are looking at staking. And I said this, why wouldn't they? They're money makers. So they're researching to find out how can they properly use this to maximize over the long term the capital that they can bring in. And since some of those companies were laggards, because let's be real, they're big, they're arrogant, they didn't feel like they had to do anything. And now they're showing that they didn't have to do anything because they could hold everything up if they want to, so that they can get in position now. They'll kick over everybody's sandcastle they did and pause everything and hold up the show, for lack of a better word, to get themselves in position. This is what they do. This is how they do it. It's a terrible thing, but that's how they operate. So you have that going on. That's why it's important to have the people with that mental conditioning so that they stay out, long enough for them to get in position, the big companies, before the explosion happens. When the explosion happens, they will attempt, because there's no guarantees in life. It's not like these people are gods or something. No, they're not. So they don't have complete control, but they're going to do their best, for sure, to have the outcome that they desire. And they have a lot of power, for sure, in that way. In that way. So they'll do their best to pump that price as high as they possibly can. And they will, I believe, it's just my humble opinion, looking at other markets and how other markets went, especially in their nascent stage, in their infancy in crypto, no matter what people want to say, it's still in its infancy. At those higher prices, they will stabilize it. You want to take something recent to compare what I'm saying to? Look at gold. Before gold exploded. Listen, people like myself, we got into gold. It was so low, it would blow people's minds right now. We were predicting back then gold would hit $2,100 and $2,200. My highest was $2,300. It exceeded that. Now it's stabilizing at a certain point. All the central banks are buying record amounts of gold, and the price is doing what, folks? Now that the big companies, the big banks are taking over, have completely taken over gold. Let's not kid ourselves. Now what's happening? The price is stabilizing somewhere much higher than where it used to be. So now take crypto into account. There's not going to be one cryptocurrency to rule them all. That's not going to happen. I don't believe it's going to happen. No way. It was never like that. It's not going to be like that. It's not that way with fiat currencies. Not that way in people's minds. People's minds are multidimensional, and they like to grasp a hold of a lot of different things. Crypto will be no different. So there will be a lot of winners. So then when crypto explodes, I think it's logical to understand that a lot of them will move to somewhere much higher, based on a multitude of dynamics. Some of them just pure people just investing and holding, using them as store of values. Then you have the utility aspect. There's a lot of different aspects. But they will stabilize at a certain higher price. And that will be, I feel this strongly, that will be where most people, regular people, will buy. I think that's what the companies want. I feel that's what the companies want. They will make a lot of money off of the regular people and their lack of knowledge. My people suffer for their lack of knowledge. I don't know where that came from. I remember hearing it from somewhere, but it's expedient. It makes a lot of sense. My people suffer for their lack of knowledge. So now I had all of these bullet points. I have a paper here, but just going off the top of my mind, this stuff is like fire on my brain. Like I have to get it off. So I've been thinking about it for like 3 days, just going over things in my mind. So now, you have this idea that I've seen enacted multiple times. The big, the legacy system comes in. They like something that someone built. They collapse it. They take it over. Then they rebuild it in their own image. And then they present it to the people as their own offering. This happens every single time. So then we've observed Ripple pushing XRP like never before, talking about XRP, praising it like never before. That tells us there's a new energy on crypto. That's one. BlackRock, BlackRock, Valkyrie. Sorry about that. I sometimes confuse Valkyrie and Vanguard. I mix them up. Valkyrie, Wisdom Tree, etc. pushing Bitcoin. That's another dynamic that tells you we're in a new age of crypto. Something big is coming. So you got Ripple pushing XRP everywhere like never before. You have BlackRock pushing Bitcoin like never before. And then what really started making me think, when I think about those dynamics and watching how they're setting up the big push that is to come. I've been saying it, when that push happens, my word, because the regular people have let me know, they let me know in vicious ways that pretty much nothing's real unless they hear it on the mainstream news. I know to you and me that may sound unbelievable, but this is what people have told me, and they tell me in all kinds of ways, some of them not so nice. So once the mainstream media starts pushing crypto, my word, and saying crypto is good, go get this cryptocurrency. There's cryptocurrency ads everywhere. The possibility of the price exploding is unbelievable. They'll start filling the people's minds with, there's you're facing a harsh economic circumstance, and we're the banks, we're the big institutions, the non-banking financial institutions, and here we have this crypto that can help you earn money. You store your money in this account, in this store of value. You can stake it. We'll stake it for you. We'll delegate it for you. Or not delegate it. We'll delegate it for you. We'll stake it for you. You can get 7%, 8%, 10%. You think that people are going to turn that down? No. They trust the banks. They trust the legacy system. They need to make more money. They're going to bite the bait. So Coinbase was saying how they want their accounts to be people's main accounts, which means what? That would take a change in advertisement. That would take a huge change in the push that Coinbase currently has had going over the past few years, which would indicate what? That would indicate to me that there's a mega push coming. There had to be a mega push for people to start considering Coinbase to be their main account. All of these different things, Ripple pushing XRP, BlackRock, etc., pushing Bitcoin. I have a list here. Coinbase saying they want to be people's main account. It all leans toward a massive push coming, which the massive push obviously coincides with or precedes a possible price explosion. Once again, I'm just sharing my humble thoughts. This is not financial advice. I'm not here to convince anybody of anything. I love to share here. I'm a researcher. It's what I do. And I have all of these thoughts. So I let the thoughts just sit in my mind and waste away. There's no point in doing that. Might as well share. So then I've never seen globally the activity all at the same time. There's a new energy over crypto. There's a new era coming. The big push is somewhere around the corner. It has to be. Like I said, I don't know when, folks. But listen, we're looking at unprecedented activity in Hong Kong. And that involves XRP. XRP has legs there. Bitcoin has legs there. Stellar has connections there as well through the Bank for International Settlements and their usage of the Stellar blockchain. They're there. I mean, Bank for International Settlements has connections, deep ties with Quant as well. I mean, they're in the game. So unprecedented activity in Hong Kong, unprecedented activity in Australia. XRP is deep in Australia. This is what they claim. Look everything I say up. Please do research it, screenshot stuff, save it. XRP has deep legs in Australia. Hedera allegedly also has deep legs in Australia, if all the articles are accurate. But nonetheless, unprecedented activity in Australia. All of this at the same time. MiCA legislation, all that stuff like that. MiCA rolling out in Europe soon. All the testing that's going on in Europe. Let's not mention the UK. All the testing. Quant has been working at a breakneck pace in the United Kingdom, working on their systems. And now they say that there's a lot of the different big companies working with Ripple. This is what the article said recently. So unprecedented activity in the United Kingdom. Once again, all of this at the same time. There has never been a time period like this. Something's coming. You got to put the puzzle pieces together. Then we read the article where there's rapid expansions in Africa. We also read, aside from the other articles, we have Stellar talk about that. You had Ripple, two or three articles about a month ago. Ripple was talking about expansion in Africa. Remember that? They're not the only ones. You got Hedera is deep in Africa. Cardano's deep in Africa. Algorand is deep in Africa. And of course, we cannot forget Latin America. What didn't Stellar just talk about some projects that they had going on? This is about a month ago also. Stellar was talking about some projects they had going on in Latin America. Everybody's deep in Latin America. So much opportunity there is mind-blowing. Well, that's what it was. They were updating on some relationships that they had, I believe, in Brazil specifically. But we know a lot of the bank coins and DLT projects are deep all across Latin America, Colombia, they're deep. Brazil, they're deep. Argentina, they're deep. I mean, Mexico, they're deep everywhere. Especially with those offline payments. That could be something I believe is going to be very significant, but I'll be a little bit balanced here and say it could be extremely, extremely significant. So rapid expansion in Latin America, all of this is happening. All of this that we just spoke about has been happening in only the last 5 months. 5 months. You mean to tell me that's not somebody didn't? I'm going to use the verbiage flip of the switch, of course, but I know they use that for other stuff. But you mean to tell me it doesn't seem like somebody gave the word and said, "Hey, let's go. It's time." The last 5 months, all of this has been happening within that time frame. No, something is going on, folks. They're building up for something huge, something big. We're going to see how all of this turns out. There was something else I wanted to say. So we went over to collapse, takeover, build it. We've seen that multiple times. Troubles with the stable coins. Do you see how in the last 3 weeks, and talking about, Tether is going to have a problem. You have Ripple go at Tether a little bit, but you had a lot of other companies and regulators go at Tether. We might need to take a look at Tether. And people cheered. A lot of people don't like Tether. I don't know what that's about. I'm going to stay out of that. I just know what I see. And so I believe people thought because Tether is having problems, the USDC was in the clear. We got USDC. Then the SEC came out and they said, hey, listen, there might be a problem with USDC. That's 2. Interesting. Why this tension on stablecoins all of a sudden? You see, when stablecoins were at play, they really, and they were dominant as far as being at the forefront of the legacy system's mind and agenda. When that was happening, they pushed regular native cryptos to the side. But what do you see happening now? Look how they play the game. Now they're bringing the native cryptos back. They're like, whoa, Bitcoin is great. Solana is great. Ethereum is great. XRP is great. I've never heard so many legacy system people talk positively about XRP in my life. Now they are. But now that that's coming back, now you see just, this rather peculiar putting of stablecoins in a negative light. Let's not forget that as soon as Ripple talked about the RLUSD or whatever they're calling their stablecoin, as soon as they put that idea out, the SEC was like, we may consider that an unregistered security. Really? So all the stablecoins are in question just now that the native tokens, native cryptos are getting a mega push. Not mega push, but they're becoming loved once again in a way, right? I wish words contained so much more meaning. It would make conveying thoughts so much easier, but they're such small containers for meaning. They're so limited words. So troubles for stablecoins. So that also, you see, they're building up a moment. They want to make this, in my humble opinion, they want to make this huge capital off the native crypto. So now they have to make way for them. They're beginning to test out the psychological conditioning and remove or manipulate little pieces of it strategically for whatever is to come. I mean, they can't have you focused they can't have those who would interact with these particular mechanisms more pro stablecoins, in my humble opinion, when they want the people to buy ETFs, they want the people to buy crypto outright. And we've heard that a lot of these entities own crypto outright, not through ETFs, but directly. We read a few articles about that recently as well. Well, a lot of you probably read them also independently, separate from the channel also. I believe also SBI was talking about that, like how some of their clients own XRP. And so they were trying to institute something in Japan to make it that much better for their clients to hold XRP, that have XRP. So they were just one of many that were talking about things like that. So I think a lot of people were under the idea that most of the legacy members are just going to own, buy crypto via ETFs or interact with crypto value through ETFs. And that's just not the case. That's just not the case. But in order to better profit off of native cryptos, you have to move the stable coins to the side. Maybe take some of the shine off of them. I'm playing with all of these ideas, but do you get where I'm sort of going with this? I wanted to share these thoughts. Something is coming, something big is building up, and I'm keeping my eye on it. I'm seeing a lot of movement, and it's very complicated. I hope more people are researching this out there and keeping their eyes on it. I know you are. We have some great researchers on the channel. You see that when we go live, that, man, people have some very potent thoughts. So I'm sure other minds are uncovering things that I couldn't possibly even think about. But this is what I've been, mulling over, for lack of a better word, the last few days. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.